By my sophomore year of high school, I had probably seen John Woo's Fab Four between 5 and 6 million times. I spent a lot of evenings browsing YouTube looking for other solid examples of the heroic bloodshed genre, which had completely captured my imagination at the time. One of my most promising discoveries, and one of the most challenging to track down, was Patrick Tam's My Heart Is That Eternal Rose from 1989. I mean, look at the barren Wikipedia entry for this thing. That's how you know you're in uncharted territory. After a job escorting a powerful gangster's son out of the country goes horribly wrong, Rick must flee to Thailand, leaving behind his childhood sweetheart Lap and her father who planned the job. 6 years on, she's become the wrathful godfather's unwilling girlfriend to spare her father's life. When Rick returns, he must enlist the help of her driver Chung, who is also smitten with her, to start a new life for the three of them, and escape the gang forever. So I stumble upon this fabulous little trailer with a moody, baller cantopop theme song that seemed to suggest a sprawling, angsty story of love, loss, and gun-fu bedlam. It also has Tony Leung, which always automatically improves any movie, as well as Kar-wai cinematographer Christopher Doyle in the roster, meaning a lot of the imagery from the trailer alone was burned into my memory. On paper, this film was unassailable, and my hype was through the roof by the time I finally got my hands on it. Did it live up to those weighty expectations? Well, major problem. One of the lovers, portrayed by Hong Kong singer and musician Kenny B, is often a dry, cold action movie cliché of a character. Unlike John Woo's protagonists, who are emotive and relatable and give the chaotic action a human undercurrent, this guy is kind of a brick wall. That's an unavoidable problem in a story with a love triangle where we're supposed to be as torn as the characters. He has dangerously little chemistry with Joey Wang, which is partially his performance and partially the writing. The film tries to introduce them as will they won't they childhood friends, but there are just no sparks. Prior to the film's big time jump, which is one of the narrative's best features, Kenny B seems less interested in the partner he's leaving behind to flee the country than in the Popeyes she brought him. Even Lap as a character thinks they have no future. She cuts it off in a letter, man. That's like the 1989 equivalent of dumping someone over text. And honestly, yeah, girl, go for Tony Leung. She has amazing chemistry with him, and the dynamic between their characters is far more interesting. He's her driver, confidant, fixer, and friend, but he's secretly in love with her and wants to save her from her circumstances. He's also the film's most sympathetic character, selflessly putting himself on the line so the woman he loves can be happy, even if it's not with him. With the 6-year time jump, it is a busy plot for a 90-minute film, and it also suffers trying to condense that plot into late-game expositional scenes where things don't happen organically, they happen because they need to. But that ends my list of complaints with this movie. The gorgeous, colorful cinematography is a great fit for such a high-emotion story. It's not just the moody lighting, but creative use of elegant tracking shots, reflections, and split screens that keep it visually riveting throughout. Overall, Tam does an excellent job of building tension and suspense. Action scenes are usually built up very slowly, with extreme close-ups and fast, sharp, intense cuts. As opposed to Johnny To and John Woo's focus on an extended highlight reel of choreography and impact, this is about simmering to a sudden release of frantic and chaotic violence. It's in these moments that Tam gets away from the fact that this is very much a John Woo film and a Kar-wai film in a blender otherwise, copying moves from both directors. But hey,
if it works, it works.
It goes without saying this is not a subtle film. It's soapy, it can be inconsistent, but it's also very entertaining in spite of and because of those things. Maybe don't go broke for it, as High School Me once did, and if you've built it up to be the apex of the heroic bloodshed movement, temper your expectations a little. But it is absolutely worth seeing. The story's emotions are so earnest, as is the film's attitude to them, that it's hard not to get swept up, or to at least feel something, melodramatic though it all may be. I think I've pulled pretty consistent 180s on this channel, seesawing between covering films that create a sense of hyper-realism through subtlety and detail, and films that are passionate and overblown to better explore complicated feelings as profoundly as we feel them. My Heart Is That Eternal Rose is the latter, and it's the latter that we sadly see less and less of in cinemas today.